Hi, everybody. I thought I would give it a go as far as using a video goes. And this is the first time for me using my iPhone as a video recorder. Yes, I'm catching up with technology. I know I've been out of the loop for a while, so I thought I would start this video series to kind of fill everybody in as to what's been going on in my life and I think share some journey tips as far as the things that we are faced with in this everyday life, in this everyday journey that we take. So, just to kind of summarize for people, in 2013, I fell during a storm and hit my head really quite severely on the ice and pavement outside in my driveway. And after that, I wound up having headaches for it was about 6 months. Now, me being the person that I am, I didn't go see a regular doctor. I sought out Chinese medicine, had some ice treatment around my face. It gave me relief. And then one day the headaches stopped. And at that point, so did my eyesight. So, yeah, I am actually classified as legally blind. So at that point, I sought out an ophthalmologist in Boston, and he started me on shots within my eyes. Now, yeah, stick a needle in my eye. It's, so fun. A lot of people out there are doing this treatment. For me, it was not the way to go, and I wish I had known that before I had started. So, for quite some time, every other week, alternating eyes, I was getting shots of this drug that was normally used as a chemotherapy drug in my eyes. It was not FDA approved, but almost every ophthalmologist out there was using it because it was a cheaper form, insurance wise, and all that, than another drug that they had. So I did that. Now, after the very first shot that I got in my eye, I was vomiting. I reacted to it just as though I had had a full fledged chemotherapy treatment. And basically, the doctor said, that's impossible. That's really not how it goes. It's such a minute amount. When you are an empath and you're very sensitive, you are very sensitive in all ways, not just in, being able to pick up people's feelings, but your whole system is very, very sensitive. So, anyhow, coinciding with getting these shots in my eyes, little did I know that my creatinine level, which is a level that, it's taken in your regular blood chem that your primary care will run, my creatinine level had crept up and kept on creeping up and kept on creeping up. So let's jump forward to 2016, and unfortunately, my kidneys have shut down totally, so I am in full renal failure. Uh, that means that without dialysis, I die, plain and simple. So in January, I had gotten really, really sick. I was on my third hospitalization, and that is when I started having surgeries on my arm to get it ready for what they call a fistula. Fistula is something that they do within the arm to get it ready for dialysis so that it can handle the needles that are used in dialysis. They redirect arterial flow into the vein. So I had the first operation for a fistula, and it failed. I was sent home with far too much medication, and my blood pressure tanked, and I was dehydrated, and everything collapsed from that operation. So, all right, great, let's, try this again. So then in March, I had another operation on my arm for a second fistula. Now they start moving it up the line on your arm. So the first one was by my wrist, the second one by the crease in my elbow. So since March, that surgery, they've been waiting for it to mature. It has to mature so that it gets to a point where it can handle the needles. It's got to plump up, hence the arterial flow within into a vein. They redirect a vein, and arterial flow goes into that vein, it plumps up. Because basically in dialysis, they're emptying your blood out, cleaning it within the machine, and then returning it back to you. So, anyhow, since I got the second fistula put in place, it has not matured as of yet. I have had another surgery on that arm to tie off little veins that were branching off of it, kind of leaching that arterial flow. So this is getting all kind of complicated or whatever, but I wanted to fill you in anyhow. The biggest thing was that in April, being in full renal failure, I caught the flu. And the two coupled together, pretty much I almost died. I came so close to death, and I have never been that close to death before. I was brought in through the emergency room and put into the ICU, and I was vomiting blood. I couldn't walk. Mostly I couldn't talk either. And I was checking out. And still, I kept on going, kept on moving. They did an emergency surgery on me, which you might see this Band-Aid kind of hanging out here. It's a tunneled catheter, which goes up into my neck and then comes out my chest, because the fistula is not ready to support dialysis, so they have to have a way to be able to connect the tubes for the dialysis machine. So you get this contraption hanging off of your body to, I guess, substitute for the fistula. It's high chance of infection, so you have to be very, very careful. No showering, you have to, work around it. What I can say is, yeah, this is literally a pain in the neck, but you know what? It's been saving my life. As soon as I started dialysis in April, I began the process of beginning to feel better. I didn't die. Some people asked me, oh, Elaine, did you see angels? Because they know what I do. And I said, kind of funny, surprisingly enough, no, I didn't. It was the most detached moments I've ever had in my life. Detached. I would come out of it some, open my eyes, look around, not fearful, not even necessarily peaceful, kind of no emotion, just observe, and then kind of go back out again. It was a very, very strange thing. Although my sister Rhonda said, Elaine, because she didn't know that I was in the hospital. She lives in another state. So, and where I went in through the emergency room, a lot of people didn't know. And she's like, I heard you call me on Tuesday evening. And I thought, well, okay, because I was dying. So I was doing a bit of astral traveling around and probably making the rounds, saying, goodbye, or just checking out people. And coming out of the whole thing, I have to say that there is some peace that does go along with it once you can kind of look back on it. Another friend had said to me, Elaine, at least you're on the right side of the dirt. And I said, yeah, you know what? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So I still deal with my eyesight. I am still labeled legally blind. Um, when my eyesight went, so did my inner ear. So I really can't teach yoga any longer. I can't do my artwork any longer. I do plan on picking back up the radio show that I was doing, Mystic Truth Radio. I do plan on picking that back up again, maybe, changing the theme of it a little bit. Because, again, you can sit me in a chair and I can talk, and that's all good. And I do want to share with everyone the ways that you can make lemonade out of lemons, because I've had to give up an awful lot in this part of the journey, but I have also gained an awful lot. I have gained more insight to what my clientele that I've been helping for years with, people with cancer or those who come to me who want to speak to their loved ones who are on the other side. And this has given me a very up close and empathetic viewpoint of what they're going through. I've got firsthand experience with it now, and I'm not just the observer. And that's a gift. That's a gift. So I'm happy for that. And as I learn things, as always, I will share them with you. I've done that really throughout my whole career, throughout my life. What I learn, I share. So I will be sharing with you really the process of what you go through when, you're going through a devastating disease like end-stage renal failure, or, any disease that you are faced with your mortality. Um, and how to get through it, because we're all at some point going to go through this. So let's try to do it with divine great grace. So hopefully you will see more and more of me. Here I am today, no makeup, no nothing. I just finally said, okay, Elaine, you can put this off and put this off and wait till it's just perfect. You look perfect and all that. And you know what? That day, just let that ship sail. It's okay. So here I am, truthful, alive, and hopefully, again, I'll be able to share something that is worthwhile. So take care, everyone, and I hope to hear and see from you all. And until next time, let's enjoy this journey. All right? Take care.